And my favorite is this kind of wacky, kind of private detective, kind of crazy dude, Mitch from Long Kiss Goodnight.
Really?
Love that movie, man.
Really?
I had such a good time with Geena Davis.
Really?
And Mitch is like, Mitch is like this dude that just kind of sucks it up and kind of steps in there and takes one for it.
This ain't no ham on rat, pal.
What the hell are you doing?
Saving your life. I would have been here sooner, but I was thinking of that ham on rye line.
Hi, I'm Danny Boyd, and this is The Long Kiss Goodnight, one of the most underrated and overlooked action movies of the 1990s, starring Geena Davis.
You've got 40 seconds to run a patch for me.
Directed by Rennie Harlan, and written by Shane Black.
You're always this stupid, or did you take lessons?
I took lessons. Hey,
What?
And to me, it's always the first movie I think of when I hear this.
I remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work.
Put that away. I'm out of here.
And I know, we're both wrong. You got Sigourney Weaver in 1986, Linda Hamilton, 1991, Bridget Fonda, 1993, or forget Hollywood. Stars like Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock in the mid to late 80s and early 90s, Pam Grier, obviously, Foxy Brown, going back to 1974. But there's just something about the purity of the form on display here. This ain't sci-fi or sensationalist or genre blending. The Long Kiss Goodnight is just a fundamental, moderately high-budget American action movie, and it was largely dismissed as such. Just another loud, explosive 90s thriller made for the likes of Stallone or Seagal. Except, of course, that it isn't just.
Raymond! They catch you smoking again, they'll never find the body. Do you understand? Yes, Miss Kane. Have a cookie.
The Long Kiss Goodnight is a bit like Die Hard meets The Bourne Identity. Samantha Kane is a happily married suburban mom living with focal retrograde amnesia for the past 8 years.
It's no picnic, but I've learned to live with it.
Only to eventually have her past catch up with her and for her to discover the truth.
You're an assassin working for the United States government. I ought to know. I trained you.
Sam Jackson's Mitch Hennessy, meanwhile,
get the fuck out of here.
is the ex-cop conman PI Samantha hires to learn more about her past, lovingly referred to in the movie as kinda low rent.
See, you're assuming I won't shoot your sorry ass, and everyone knows when you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you and umption.
And yeah, he's pretty much one of my favorite characters too.
She's my only daughter, and I don't quite trust you yet.
Mitch was just totally a con man.
Holy shit, score!
But all of a sudden, he meets this person that he wants to give his all to, that lets him know that there's something inside of him that he doesn't even know is there.
Yeah. Shit.
Are you okay? Is your neck all right? You don't have any whiplash or anything?
What?
Okay, so you've got these two characters, forced into this shared situation. Meanwhile, bit by bit, the inner demon of Samantha's past gradually begins to emerge.
Excuse me, do you normally curse this much?
I didn't. What are you, a Mormon?
Yes, I'm a Mormon. That's why I just smoked a pack of Newport and drank 3 vodka tonics. What I'm saying is, back when we first met, you were all like, oh, phooey, I burned the darn muffins. Now, you go into a bar, 10 minutes later, sailors come running out. What up with that?
Cut then to one near-death experience involving a water wheel, and one badass rescue of a friend in need, and the fiery assassin side of Samantha, Charlie Baltimore, is fully unlocked and unleashed.
Uh-oh. You're seeping. Here. Look at this.
Oh!
And this is really what roots the movie. You've got these dueling personalities, school teacher, mother, the suburban lifestyle with Samantha, and then this killer assassin, the presumed dead Charlie Baltimore, trying to take over.
See how easy it comes back? That was the most fascinating and appealing part of playing this character to me was the conflict of these two characters and how I would get to map out when one personality is dominant and when the other one is trying to get out. And I really looked at it like, chefs do that. That they were like cats in a bag that were fighting and trying to win. It was almost like somebody with split personality, I can imagine, where one of the personalities is trying to gain dominance. Life
is pain. Get used to it.
It's just very challenging and fascinating to try to chart the progress of the characters.
What I love about all this is that it adds intrigue to an action character who could otherwise be just a killing machine in any other movie. And don't get me wrong, that would have been fine, and I would have loved to have gotten a sequel that was all Charlie. Luckily, 2 decades later, we got Atomic Blonde. But under that exterior is a character reconciling two identities, the deep cover story, and the operative actively rejecting it.
I didn't ask for the kid. Samantha had the kid, not me. Nobody asked me.
And Davis plays both personalities straight and decisively.
I'm thinking maybe Samantha Kane wasn't an act. I think maybe you forgot to hate yourself for a while. How about it?
But at the end of the day, it's really the chemistry between Davis and Jackson that sets this movie apart.
I'm leaving the country, Mitch. I need a fake passport and I need money. Lots of it.
Well, why didn't you say so? Well, hold on a minute while I pull that out of my ass.
And as a vehicle for their chemistry, just Shane Black's dialogue in general.
It makes a bulge, people can see.
You want me to stick it in my pants and shoot my damn dick off?
Now you're a sharpshooter?
Which brings us to the meat of the movie, the action. Which, according to director Rennie Harlan, is pretty much Davis and Jackson all the way.
I really tried to put the actors into these scenes, and I did actually drop Geena and Sam on these thin wires down from the 3rd floor, so most of it was done for real, and then we just erased the wires.
We jumped out of a building!
Yes, it was very exciting. Tomorrow we go to the zoo.
Well, Rennie wanted us to do as much as possible because he realizes that audiences know that when you cut away from somebody, you're using a stuntman. And he wanted to stay with us as much as he possibly could. And Rennie actually shoots with, 7, 8, 9 cameras sometimes. So there's all kinds of angles that he can shoot you from while you're doing things. So we shot that big gunfight at the lodge for like a week.
All clear. Roger, northeast.
When Jennifer Lawrence gave that quote on Variety a couple years ago, she got a lot of flack for it online. And yeah, strictly speaking, it isn't true. But also, yeah, in what is far less quoted, she goes on to address what has historically been the mindset regarding the way in which Hollywood, a generally safe betting institution, picks projects.
Because it wouldn't work. Girls and boys can both identify with a male lead. We were told, but boys cannot identify with a female lead. And it just makes me so happy every single time I see a movie that just blows through every single one of those beliefs and proves that it is just a lie.
Make without what you will, but to me, The Long Kiss Goodnight is one of those movies. It was one of the first.
Sam.
And it's one of the best.
I'll be waiting for you to come rescue me.
Be just a minute.
So if you haven't seen The Long Kiss Goodnight, go watch it. If you're not sold halfway through, stick with it. And if you feel like you got anything out of it at all, watch it again, because I think it's even better after a first watch. And I'm not alone.
My favorite movie of mine to watch, Long Kiss Goodnight.
I'm Danny Boyd.
That's a duck, not a dick.
Thanks for watching.
Good morning, Raymond. Good morning, Miss Kate. What have we learned about the dangers of smoking? Give it here. Thanks. Tell anyone you saw me. I'll blow your fucking head off.
Hey, so a couple weeks ago, I introduced a new segment on film scenes that shamelessly make me weep like a little babe. In that first video, I covered 2001's A Knight's Tale, and coming up in a few weeks, I'll be dropping a new episode on The Return of the King. One scene in particular, which I will not spoil here, but guess what? You can watch it early over on Nebula. Nebula is a creator-built, creator-owned streaming platform. It's got no ads, no clutter, and is home both to Nebula original programming. I highly recommend checking out the live comedy improv series Abolish Everything, which releases every other week only on Nebula, but also tons and tons more exclusive, extended, and early content from many of the creators who have inspired me, including Thomas Flight, like Stories of Old, A Closer Look. Subscribing to me on Nebula not only means supporting me and my work in a more sustainable way, it means access to my videos weeks early, it means watching all my videos in their entirety without ads, and it means subscribing to a platform that actually provides a productive place for creators like me to analyze and celebrate the films that we love without roadblocks. If you join Nebula with my code, you can get 40% off a year's subscription, which comes out to just $36 for the year, $3 a month, if you go to go.nebula.tv/CinemaStix. Once again, that's go.nebula.tv/CinemaStix. I'm Danny Boyd. I hope to see you there.